I encountered a story that I had heard in the past. I had read it in several other materials, and I'm certain you too may have read of this story, so I wouldn't want to bore you with the details. But something particular happened in this, how it was portrayed in this material I was consulting. You know of the story of the lion that a shepherd saw, a lion cub, a shepherd saw and took to his house, his farm, groomed it with his sheep, and it became like a sheep, lived like a sheep, ate, sounded, behaved, and acted like a sheep. But something happened. One of those days when they were in the field pasturing, a a fierce-looking, matured older lion came around, roared as loud as it could, and then the sheep and the young lion, they all ran as fast as their leg could carry them. And the shepherd came out. Of course, he could not do anything. The lion had grabbed one of the sheep and was strangling it. But in the process of strangling the sheep, the lion looked at the sheep pen, like the sheep house, and saw something that was very strange. But for the sake of hunger, he just chose to carry this sheep he had um, grabbed and entered the forest, had a good meal. The next day, the sheep and the young lion, they came out to do their normal duties and normal feeding. But this lion went to the stream this afternoon rather, to drink water, and in the stillness of the water, he saw his own reflection and it was startled. It ran back. But he noticed that other sheep were not running. So he decided, and I was like, are you guys not seeing what I'm seeing? None of them gave him any reaction. So he went close, saw that same picture, was startled, but he could not run. This time it was frozen with fear. But it was just watching at this picture. Is this not this beast we saw yesterday? Then it was now as if a coincidence happened. That older lion was coming down from the mountain and gave that loud roar it gave the other day, and as if to say, let me come and see this anomaly I saw yesterday. What was happening here? The other sheep ran. The sheep, they scrambled as fast as their legs could carry them. But this young lion was paralyzed with fear, looking at his reflection in the water, and then seeing that same reflection approaching it with so much splendor and fierce, terrifying aura coming along with it. So the lion came very close, looked at it, and gave a loud roar as if to say, young man, what are you doing here? This is not your place. The young lion was scared, couldn't say anything, couldn't move, so he roared again, say something. The young lion tried to roar, and all that could come out was the bleating of a sheep. The lion was irritated and screamed again, come on, he was roaring, say something. The younger lion tried, they were trying back and forth, he could not roar until at some point he got it and they were just roaring. The point came, the older lion stopped and began to walk away. The younger lion looked at the older one, looked at the farmer and his shepherd in the comfort of their homes, looked and was in between decisions. Then the older lion stopped. He looked at it as if to say, are you coming or what? Then continued. You know the story, the younger lion went to the older one, became the lion it could become. But what I would love to pick up from this story is that for any young person who has decided to serve his or her giftings to this world in such a way that he or she does it right, and does it to a point where it brings him or her to a place of notoriety, there are two things I believe that is very necessary and would be very detrimental to the success of that endeavor. One of which has two prongs, two legs, is the fact that the first leg, you need people to look up to, just like the older lion, somebody who adumbrates exactly that which calls to your deep, that which you see and you are connected to, people who you can see who are doing the right things, doing the things that resonate to you, and they are doing it right, and they are doing it in a place of prominence. Those who you can emulate, those who you can look up to, those who you can exemplify their lifestyle. And then the second leg is service. Service. And why I say service is because sometimes we do not know who we are or what we can achieve until we are given an opportunity. So I love to see it this way, the word responsibility that comes during service. You are given responsibility, and that word responsibility, I believe, is a compound word that has response and abilities. So you are given a responsibility, and your response to that responsibility brings out an ability inside of you that you may not know of. Now, let me explain better. You, in the place of service, you find yourself, you know where you are, what you are good at doing and what you are not good at doing. I never would have known that I love public speaking. I used to see a dearly revered mentor of mine, Vusi Tembakwayo. Hello, Vusi.
Hello, family.
And I used to see him as somebody who, he's the most paid African speaker, public speaker. He's the highest paid, rather. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy is good at what he does. I love him. I love his demeanor. I love his examples, facial expressions, his courage, and the rest. I love his voice inflections, his tonality, and the rest. But I never could have known that I had that same flair for public speaking if I had not taken up some responsibilities I did in the past that brought me to a point where I needed to talk to people. And so I realized that, oh wow, so I can talk too. Yes, I may not be as good as him, but I know I have that flair, and it's an initial, it's a very profitable one, it's very useful one, something that that's where it starts. So in my place of service, I realized that, wow, so I can do this. So having mentors, having people you look up to, and then serving, because in the place of service, you know your strengths, your weaknesses, where you are good at, where you are not good at. Then the second one, which is very important, I think it's very important that it can determine the quality and the outcome of your life, which is environment. Environment can never be overemphasized, the power it has over anybody, everyone, anybody. If you find yourself just like the sheep in an environment where you are told, oh, stay in your comfort zone, don't run around, don't play, don't shake too much, just do the least you can do and let's just get by and find ourselves out of this place shortly. There's a high tendency that you may not fulfill your potential. You may just remain in a place where things are just going and life is wasting and time is just like in an environment where some of us may find ourselves, where people talk bad at us, downgrade us, brings us down. It may not even necessarily be direct attack. It could be sarcasm or some of these snide comments or environment where people are always telling us, why do you like to overdo things? Simple assignment they give you, you just want to show everybody. You just relax, calm down, take it easy. That kind of environment can be very, very, very risky. It can reduce one to a common piece of bread, just like reducing a lion from a magnificent creature, a creature that spells royalty, to a sheep that runs away from its reflection. And on the flip side, you can also find yourself in an environment where young people like you have decided to do things right. They have decided to give their giftings to this world, to serve this world in ways that they know and they feel and they believe that they have a calling in. That kind of environment, young people who are striving to do things right, who are doing the best they can. They are not laissez-faire about life. They are always pursuing excellence, studying, getting as much knowledge as they can. That kind of environment can boost one's tendencies of achieving and fulfilling a great destiny. And that's what we've been working on recently. Part of the reasons why we've been away is because we are building an institute that equips young leaders with the right knowledge, tools, and environment that helps them to be positive impacts to the factors that govern their social, religious, business, economic, and organizational environment. So you find yourself in an environment, you're building an environment of young people who have decided to serve their giftings to this world, and they have decided to do it right. And in doing it right, they're actively chasing that, um, the actualization of that decision. So I would suggest, if you have not already done so, to follow us on our social media platforms where this information will be sent to, guide us on how we can be part of this community, this environment of young people. So it will be displayed on the screen. So just watch out for some of the details that will be coming in the coming months, where we would explain how you can access this environment, how you can come to a point where, you see right models, those who can be mentors, those who can show you how they did it because they did it right, and put you through certain inside secrets to what they will not share to the public. And then you have opportunities to try out many things that will bring out your giftings, that will teach you or show you some of the things you are capable of doing because of the responsibilities you'll be given. And then you'll be in an environment of like-minded young people who want to be positive impact to the factors that contribute to change, positive change in their environment. My name is Mba David Okechukwu, and I'm the founder of TMM. And I would always say, choose to do it right and don't be ashamed of it. Till we meet the next time. Ciao.